6 o'clock on KARE 11 Sunrise, off to a great start on this Thursday morning, sitting at 35 degrees at last check. Guy has got his light jacket on. What is that? Your trench coat. You lost the hat.
Yeah, lost the hat.
You lost the hat because I was going to ask you. You had a feather in your cap last time I saw you, and I wanted to know what kind of feather.
Jen, I'll be bringing that hat back. I love that hat. It's my favorite hat, especially in weather like this with the cloudy skies. You know, I thought I'd bring out the trench coat. I'm a huge fashion guy. I love fashion. But anyway, let's get into this because I think what's cooler than the temperature right now, it also feels like it, right? We don't have to worry about a wind chill. It feels like 35 degrees. Really comfortable out here starting off the morning hours. Southwest winds just at 3 miles per hour. We have some developing rain and snow. That's going to be moving in later on this evening. For the first half of the day, maybe before lunchtime, maybe you have lunch plans. Well, just get ready for some patchy fog, maybe a drizzle. This rain and snow, that's going to move in later on, closer to the nighttime, after sundown. Once we get into the evening hours, that's when the snow will be more widespread. Some areas could see 1 to 2 inches. This is going to be a quick mover out of here before midnight. 16 by this time tomorrow morning, so I will not have the thin jacket on because it's going to feel more like the single digits. So more on this rain and snow and cooler temps coming up.
All right, go get your hat, Guy. 6:01, taking a look at Maple Grove this morning. Here's right where 94 splits. Looking good. That's the case across the metro. We'll take a look at the full map coming up in just a bit. But new overnight, police in Brooklyn Park say a man is dead after firing at officers late last night. After shooting at police, officers say the man then turned the gun on himself. No officers were injured. This all began just after 11 last night, when police responded to a domestic assault call near Maplebrook Parkway and Maplebrook Circle. When they arrived, that's when police say a man shot at officers and hit a squad car.
The officer is uninjured. He's a little shooken up, but doing well. This is not a common occurrence in this community, although it has happened before, unfortunately. But it is a very real danger whenever you're responding to domestic violence type of situation. You really don't know what you're walking into.
Police tell us the victim of the domestic assault is safe this morning and was not injured in the shooting. After 2 extensions today, all 5 suspects in last week's deadly shooting at the Mall of America could be released from jail if charges are not filed by noon. That is the deadline. The Hennepin County Court granted a second charging extension yesterday. 19-year-old Jonte Hudson died after being shot following a fight inside Nordstrom's on Friday. Well, now to a major development in a case we've been following for a few years. Attorney General Keith Ellison's office has charged a former Minneapolis police officer with assaulting a man during the riots following George Floyd's murder. Eva is live in our newsroom with more on the case. Eva?
Jen, within the past 24 hours, we've learned that former MPD officer Justin Stetson has not been employed with the department since August. Now he's charged with third-degree assault. Prosecutors identified Stetson in this surveillance video as the officer kicking a man named Jaleel Stallings. The AG's office third-degree assault charge alleges Stetson kicked, punched, and slammed Stallings' head on the pavement. The AG's law enforcement expert found the actions were unreasonable, excessive, and contrary to generally accepted police practice. So what led up to this? Stallings, a legal gun owner, was on the ground at the time after he had surrendered to police, you saw there. Stallings had fired his gun at officers when they shot rubber bullets at protesters, but Stallings said he didn't know it was police shooting at him. He was charged but later acquitted and even received a $1.5 million settlement from the city. Coming up in 30 minutes, we'll share how civil rights advocates are reacting to this new charge against the former officer. Jen, back to you.
All right, thank you, Eva. This morning, new details in the death of George Musser. The Washington County Medical Examiner says the 20-year-old from Stillwater likely died of cold weather exposure. Musser disappeared after leaving a downtown Stillwater bar during sub-zero temperatures early the morning on Christmas Eve. His body was found Christmas Day after more than 100 people came out to search for him. Investigators say Musser was wearing only a flannel, jeans, a stocking cap, and shoes. Police are still investigating exactly what happened. Turning to the latest with the Southwest saga right now. We are checking in at MSP Airport, where there are currently 25 canceled flights, 14 flights are delayed right now. Of course, the past few days, thousands of Southwest flights have been canceled, and it's not just because of the weather. The pilots union says outdated scheduling equipment is a factor here. So what do you do next? If you're stuck in a long line like this, maybe you had to spend money on a hotel, another flight. Southwest says you can send them receipts, but that does not mean that you'll definitely get paid back. Okay, travel experts say passengers actually have very few, if any, rights.
There is not even a legal obligation for Southwest or any airline in the United States to cover the cost of a hotel for a passenger who's been stranded, or cover the cost of meals, or cover the cost of the rental cars that many Americans are renting right now.
So that was Kyle Potter of Thrifty Traveler. Maybe you've heard of that website. He says even if your claim is approved, it could still be months before you see any sort of reimbursement money. Good luck. Well, meanwhile, American and United both say they are capping prices on their flights, so Southwest passengers trying to rebook aren't hit with tickets that cost thousands of dollars. Neither airline said what that price ceiling would be, but both say that it'll last a few days and apply to airports that Southwest flies through. As flight cancellations continue with families stuck in airports, health experts are urging you, wear a mask. And that is because doctors are concerned that respiratory viruses could surge following the holidays. Cece's here now with a look at how Minnesota is preparing. Hi, Cece.
Hey, Jen. Yeah, doctors are really on high alert right now, just waiting and preparing for a possible surge. The flu, RSV, and COVID-19 already wreaking havoc on our hospitals. If we take a look at the latest data we have from the Minnesota Department of Health, they tell us that COVID cases in Minnesota, they're milder. Flu and RSV cases have also declined. If we take a look here at just a flu example, there were 264 flu hospitalizations the week of December 11th in Minnesota. And then compare that to the week before that, there was 400 flu hospitalizations, so a slight decline. Later this morning, when the Minnesota Department of Health releases new data, we'll see if the holiday impacted that slight progress at all. But even with the good news, doctors say you shouldn't let your guard down because hospitals aren't and counties aren't either. In just a few hours at 12:30, Dakota County will be hosting a free flu and COVID-19 vaccine clinic in West St. Paul. All are welcome, regardless of insurance status. Over in Bloomington at the Mall of America's vaccine site, that's also available to you. But just a heads up, that site will close down after tomorrow, so get those appointments. Health experts saying vaccines are the best way to stay safe. So we have more info about those clinics on our website. But if you're already vaccinated, what do you do? Well, doctors are saying that you should still be cautious. You should be wearing a mask, getting tested for COVID before you head back to work or school next week, and also keeping cold and flu medicine on standby just in case you do get sick. Jen.
Never a bad idea to do that. Thank you, Cece. A Minneapolis man needs your help getting his snowplow truck back. Ed Irwin says his truck was taken while he was out shoveling snow the other day. He and his family are hoping the community he's supported for decades will now help uplift him this time around. Here's Sharon Yu.
This is what retirement looks like for Ed Irwin.
I have a social entrepreneurship project that I started several years ago, working with young people, young adults and elders, trying to bring them together.
Part of that work involves hiring youth to shovel snow, which was what he and Crystal Colbert were doing on December 18th at St. James AME Church.
We just had to shovel the walks, so we stopped the truck, got out, shoveling the walks, only be a couple of minutes. I think a car was probably following us, but they drove up. A person jumped out, got into my truck, and then they drove both vehicles away.
All of a sudden, I heard Mr. Ed screaming, and then I dropped my shovel and I ran to the front, and the car was gone.
Gone with the truck, the plow attachment, several snow blowers, and all of Irwin's personal belongings. His daughter says this feels like a gut punch.
To hear my dad say that he's devastated by a community he's worked so hard to pour into and has poured into, it's heartbreaking for me to hear that as his daughter.
But Naisha Smith says she's heartened to see the community step up with a GoFundMe.
I know my dad is a very selfless person, and sometimes our elders and our community members, we almost use them to depletion, and we forget to fill them back up.
I have no animosity or hatred for those who stole the truck or stole the vehicle. I just hope that they use it wisely and for good.
Well, be on the lookout for this, a silver Chevy Silverado with black and yellow plow attachment. You're seeing a picture right now of the GoFundMe. Right now, that GoFundMe is at almost $25,000. If you would like to help, you can find the link to that GoFundMe along with this story on KARE11.com. Ed, by the way, says if he were to get his truck back, all of the GoFundMe money would then go to charity. I hope he does get it back. All right, 6:10 right now. Our streak of warmer weather continues today. So exciting. But could change tomorrow, and I guess we're seeing a wintry mix this evening. Nothing to be alarmed about, Guy says.
I wouldn't be too alarmed. I mean, accumulation's not really much of the issue. We've already had snow and slick spots by now. Just some isolated slick spots out there as a wintry mix will change over to some snow showers later on this evening. 35 right now, it feels like it, nice and comfortable. Southwest winds at 3 miles per hour. We'll have a rain chance later on this afternoon, maybe after 2 p.m. or so, and then changing over to snow. Really good shot at finding widespread snow kicking off between 5 and 6. Now, once the snow kicks off between 5 and 6, kind of lasting through the early evening hours, kind of tapering right after 10 o'clock tonight. And then it's all going to be about the cold with temperatures tomorrow morning in the teens once the wind gets going single digits. So I will not have my thin jacket on tomorrow. I'll probably bust out the thick winter coat. So here's a quick 3-day forecast for you. After 36 today, a wintry mix, and I'm going to time that out on some forecast models coming up in about 10 minutes. 26 tomorrow, brighter Friday, mostly cloudy Saturday, temperatures right around the mid-30s. So we're going to keep this above average temperature trend today, and we're going to cool off a little on Friday, close to seasonal tomorrow. So even though tomorrow is going to be cooler, that's going to be average. A larger system still remains on track early next week, kicking off Monday, and timing not great with most people heading back to work, back to school. That could slow things down early next week. So that's all coming up in my 7-day stick around, about 10 minutes. Jen?
We will do that. Thank you, Guy. New Year's Eve almost here. Do you know what you're planning on doing? We want to hear about it. You can text us this morning at 763-797-7215. And hey, if you're still on the hunt for some ideas, we're telling you about some family-friendly options in less than 5 minutes. Plus, if you're racking up Starbucks stars and you're about to spend them on a free drink, you might want to hold off. The change you'll feel the next time you order your morning cup of Joe. 6:15. Look at this beautiful shot. Live look at downtown over Golden Valley this morning. So today, our high temperatures are getting close to the 40s. We're already at 35 this morning. But we'll see another drop in temperatures come tomorrow. And then in less than 5 minutes, Guy's going to tell us what the forecast will be for the last few days of 2022. Well, this morning we are following developing news out of Ukraine. We're learning about reports they've intercepted more than a dozen missiles over the capital city of Kyiv. CNN reports the Russian missiles are targeting civilian infrastructure. At last check, 3 people have been injured, including a 14-year-old and 2 people who were pulled from a damaged home. Bill Cosby is eyeing a return to touring in 2023. He made the comment during a surprise radio interview yesterday. In 2018, you might remember the 85-year-old was convicted in Pennsylvania of criminal sexual assault. He served nearly 3 years before his conviction was then overturned by the state Supreme Court. A Cosby rep reportedly confirmed that the comedian is looking to start touring in either the spring or the summer. Closer to home here in the Metro, a happy update this morning for Wendy's House of Soul. The restaurant had its last day in the Harrison neighborhood yesterday. You might remember we told you about that, but we do now know that the restaurant will be staying in North Minneapolis. Wendy's says that they will be relocating to a Weber Camden location with the help of Sammy's Avenue Eatery. She hopes to reopen in time for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. The new year, nearly upon us, but in many families, not everyone's old enough to stay up till midnight to ring in 2023, or some of us just get tired and go to bed before the ball drops. Either way, Eva Anderson has some family-friendly events to celebrate during daylight hours at a few different price points.
Starting off in the morning, the city of Eagan is hosting a dance party at 9 a.m. with a real countdown to 12. Noon, that is. There will be games, prizes, snacks, and a ball drop. You can register online for $15 a person, and you'll get a swag bag. In St. Louis Park, the ROC Ice Arena will be celebrating from 12:15 to 2:15 p.m. with music and refreshments. Skate rentals are $3. Over in St. Paul, Como Park Zoo is hosting a New Year's Eve party. They'll have crafts, face painting, a selfie station, and a biodegradable confetti drop. The events will take place from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. You can make a free reservation online. Also in St. Paul, the Cotton Candy Cafe Spinning Wild is throwing a party in their new location at Union Depot. It's free to attend, and kiddos can dance away their sugar rush in a hula hoop dance party starting at 6 p.m. and ending in a balloon drop at 8. We have a list of these events and even a few more online at KARE11.com. Eva Anderson, KARE 11 News.
I'm already planning out, like tons of good ideas there.
Same.
Even if you don't have kids. All right, well,
I'm just like getting my plans together. I'm like,
it's like, I love cotton candy.
That's
borrow
my favorite.
one of my kids and take them there.
That's my favorite.
Get their sugar on and then give them back to me. And then I'll hate you. All right, well, maybe you already have New Year's Eve plans. We want to know what you're doing. Do you have any good ideas for the rest of us? You can text us this morning at 763-797-7215. And we are hearing this morning from Gavin, who plans to spend the evening with his wife and father-in-law. They're going to grill steak, roast lobster tails. Hello. And then enjoy some cocktails.
That sounds
Invite
good.
me over, Gavin.
Yeah.
Laura is staying home with her husband and her dogs and getting ready to celebrate her birthday. Happy early birthday, Laura. I wonder if it's on the 1st.
That's a cool birthday.
First or, yeah.
The first.
But if you're born on the 31st, you're your parents' little tax deduction.
That's a good nugget.
Get that baby out before midnight rolls around.
Well, I know we'll be doing steak.
You are doing steak.
We are doing steak.
Okay. That sounds delicious.
Can't wait.
Oh, it's traffic now.
You thinking about that?
I was like, what are you going to tell us how you're going to cook the steak, Guy? What are you having with the steak?
Medium
Okay, traffic.
well for me.
Well, fortunately for me, not a lot happening on the roads. Still looking good. No delays, no crashes. Obviously, as you know, it's been kind of a quiet week on the roads. Not a lot of people maybe heading out to work or wherever you're going early in the morning. So you're good to go. Nothing you need to worry about there. And now we will head over to Guy, who can talk about steak, the weather,
Yes.
I don't know,
You
your
can
hat
tell I'm
selection.
hungry. I'm thinking about that steak right now too. But hey, this morning, if you are going to be out grabbing breakfast, you don't have to worry anything about any snow. You don't have to worry about any, rain or anything like that. Maybe just some patchy fog. The snow will move in later on this evening. So right now, looking outside downtown Minneapolis, Wells Fargo building, shining bright this morning, beautiful, and not much happening right now. Now that's all going to shift a little bit later. Snow looks to be more widespread right around 5, things kind of kicking off between 5 and 6 for the metro. Widespread snow, once it kicks off, it's going to get going and really snowing through about midnight. That's when we'll see a lot of progress, taper, and snow makes its way off to the north and east. But for now, you got cloudy skies, some patchy fog, maybe some drizzle. Showers develop around 3 o'clock and then changing over to snow. Current temps in the mid-30s. Again, it's comfortable. I've been saying it all morning. It actually feels like the current air temperature. Some 20s off to the north and west. Radar quiet. Some snow showers towards the Arrowhead. Most of us, again, not waking up to any precip on radar. Now, visibility, we're already starting to see that drop slightly off to the north and west. Right around 4 miles from Princeton to Buffalo, just to shout out a few areas that are finding the lowest visibilities. Radar here, microcasts. Again, I'll put a stop when things start to turn a little active. 2:30 is when we'll start to see some showers develop. Snow showers off to the south and west, a very narrow swath that can dump some heavier snow totals. I'm talking about 1 to 2 inches. The rest, most of us will be at around an inch or less. But by 8 o'clock, that's when the snow is going to be the most widespread. And then look at this, by 11, tracking just off to our north and east into western Wisconsin. So things will kind of be out of here by tomorrow morning. Maybe just a few slick spots on roadways early tomorrow. Cooler tomorrow, brighter tomorrow. Another system on its way Monday and Tuesday.